We've been married 70.5 years. Beautiful, wonderful, very special years. He is a marvelous, marvelous person, husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. We love each other, and we have for all these years. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. God bless. Thank you. You might be the only one who likes my thing.
Evelyn and Norman Myers met when Norman was a soldier at West Point. They were married in 1941 and raised one daughter while they worked as nurses' aides. They both enjoyed singing in the Ebenezer Baptist Church choir in Poughkeepsie
Congratulations.
and believed the secret to a long marriage can be summed up in one word: love. Evelyn and Norman celebrated their 73rd wedding anniversary last December.
That's enough, she says. Okay.
Harold and Florence Miller were introduced by friends back in 1940 and were married the following year. Just a few months later, Harold was called off to World War II and earned 3 battle stars. In 1952, the couple incorporated their first charter bus company, the Acorn Coach. Harold was the driver and mechanic, and Florence handled the office duties. They moved to Wappinger in 1978 to a house just down the street from here. Last Christmas, Harold and Florence marked their 73rd wedding anniversary.
Congratulations. Say a few words. How about thank you? Thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
Lossie and Sam Lee were childhood sweethearts who were married in Georgia, but spent most of their lives in Fishkill. For several decades, they were both members of the Fishkill Volunteer Fire Department, and Lossie volunteered at the Fishkill Thrift Shop. Since 1951, they have attended the Villa Baptist Church in Wappinger, where Mr. Lee is a deacon and member of the men's choir, and Mrs. Lee is a deaconess and the secretary of the Sunday school. Sam took a fall recently and was just released from Wingate in Fishkill yesterday. The couple was determined to join us here today so that we can recognize their 75th wedding anniversary.
You do not have to stand.
Yeah.
But can you sing Amazing Grace?
That's the one I forgot.
I got mine. I know one of the lights is
Able to come to celebrate such a wonderful thing. I've been married to her for a little over 75 years. I'm glad to have 3 of my kids here, my oldest one and my 2 youngest ones here, with their wives and friends, my granddaughter. I want to thank them for coming. I want to thank y'all for everything y'all have did for us. Keep up the good work. Lord bless you.
She said, that's a long time.
Residents over the age of 100 are the fastest growing segment of our population, and their numbers are predicted to grow over 1 million in the next 40 years. If you were born 100 years ago, you were alive for Babe Ruth's first home run, the first stop sign, the first transcontinental telephone call, and the formulation of Einstein's theory of relativity. Some of the famous people who were born 100 years ago include Zero Mostel, Ingrid Bergman, Orson Welles, Lauren Green, Fernando Lamas, and the singers Billie Holiday and Frank Sinatra.
Wow.
Dutchess County, we are honored to have 15 today from virtually every corner of our county. The youngest of our 2015 centenarians, Mary Macagnano, was one of 8 siblings born and raised in the Bronx. She attended trade school for sewing and married her husband Salvatore in 1948. Together they adopted a son named Stephen and moved to Mount Vernon. In her later years, Mary started visiting her sister who lived in Dutchess County and eventually moved up this way to be closer to family. For over a decade, she has been a regular attendee of the Office for Aging's Tri-Town Senior Friendship Center. Mary has always enjoyed her home. She says she has lived a very happy life and still lives independently with help from her niece Susan, who joins her here today. This November, Mary Macagnano will turn 100 years young.
Thank you, Katie. Sister Katie, thank you very, very much.
You're very welcome. God bless you.
Ruth Kraft was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, 20 years before Elvis. She was studying nursing when she met and married her husband, Harold Kraft. The couple moved to Chicago, where Harold took a job with his uncle's company, Kraft Foods. During her husband's hectic working years, Ruth raised 4 children and managed the family's many moves. Although never employed, Ruth was a tireless volunteer wherever she lived, from Texas to the Philippines. When her husband passed away in 2005, Ruth moved to Rhinebeck with her daughter Barbara and volunteered at Northern Dutchess Hospital's thrift shop until just 3 years ago. Ruth plays a winning hand of bridge, attends the Methodist Church, and enjoys the Northern Dutchess Symphony. This August, Ruth Kraft turns 100 years young.
I want to say a few words, but this is special for us since I think this is the first time we've had this happen. Your granddaughter is the supervisor of the town of Rhinebeck, Elizabeth Spinzia, nice Irish last name, and she was here to celebrate with you, so why don't we give her a round of applause as well. That's a first for us. We'll wait till she turns 100. Congratulations.
Was born in Italy and came to the United States with her family from Ellis Island when she was 8 years old. She grew up in New York City initially, and eventually her family moved to Poughkeepsie when her father was hired as a chef at the Old Nelson House on Market Street. Connie married her husband Frank in 1938, and together they raised 5 children and were married for 31 years. The couple opened and ran the College View restaurant on Violet Avenue. Today, Connie lives in her own home with the support of her children and enjoys many hobbies, including knitting, crocheting, reading, cooking, and especially taking care of her cat, Eva. This July, Connie will mark her 100th birthday.
I've been very blessed with health, good family, and I always believe in God, whatever it is. So, thank you very much.
You're next.
Good,
Brown University with a master's degree in education
Oh.
and psychology.
Oh my God.
Fighting in the Battle of the Bulge. In 1942, he married his first wife,
The
Anne.
kid from Tivoli.
That's right, the kid from Tivoli.
After the war,
Thank you, buddy.
Hold on 1 second.
After the war, he taught himself how to repair watches and jewelry and opened a small jewelry store in the village of Wappingers Falls. Business was very slow.
1,
Until he
2,
volunteered to
3.
fix the clock in the bell tower of the Episcopal Church for free, saving them $5,000.
No shit.
Norman retired in 1968 to care for his ailing wife. After she passed, he became the historian of the Chelsea Yacht Club, lectured on and even wrote a book about the Hudson River, married a second time for 25 years, and continues to take care of a 12-acre farm. In February, a very spry Norman Tardif reached the age of 100.
Hey! Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And I won't tell them what you said before. Something like, "Aw, damn."
Socrates and worked as a bookbinder until she was 65. Along with her two sons, she also enjoyed raising Gordon setters. Dorothy says she's surprised she's lived this long and credits her long life to not smoking or drinking and being a good person. This past February, Dorothy Peters became a Dutchess County centenarian.
Would you mind taking a photograph? Would you like to say a few words?
Oh dear, I love it, but I shouldn't have done it. I'm not the only one. There's another woman, 3 years, I'm 3 years older than the other one. God bless her, and I hope she gets a party soon.
Fair enough.
John Crenny was born in New York City and graduated from the National Academy of Design. In 1936, he opened his first photography studio, and just 3 years later, won first prize in the Daily News's Most Beautiful Child Photo Contest. John married his wife Josephine that same year, and they spent 72 wonderful years together. The couple would often spend summers in Dutchess County, and loved it so much they moved here permanently in 1952, where they opened the John Lane Studio. John continues to stay active painting, carving, playing poker, and attending the Poughkeepsie Senior Center. Stop by his table today, and John can share with you some of his photography, and you can also wish him a happy 101st birthday.
So I understand, John, you're going to speak, but what is the secret to living as long as you have?
You're the secret. So much to me.
Hold on.
Don't die.
Sage advice, sage advice. God bless you.
Anne McHugh was born in Brooklyn and moved to New Jersey after she married her husband. They had one son together who they lost to cancer at just 52 years of age. Anne worked as a beautician and was an avid reader. She still enjoys trivia, socials, bingo, and especially music. Anne even designed a Score the Board game for the residents of the Pines at Poughkeepsie, which is still used weekly by the Recreation Department. This summer, Anne McHugh will celebrate her 102nd birthday.
Oh, she wants a kiss. I've got a man over here, John Beal. He'd like to see you. Would you like to say anything?
I thank you very much for everything.
You're very welcome. God bless.
The youngest of 12 children, Paula Selinsville was president of her high school class and went on to study law. She has been a member of the Texas Bar Association for over 75 years. Hulda moved to Beacon with her late husband August, where together they raised 4 successful children. Hulda discovered a talent for painting and poetry late in life, and even had one of her poems published at the age of 100. She believes the key to happiness is doing some type of productive work. Hulda Stellingslow, a regular attendee at our senior prom, celebrated her 102nd birthday last November.
I'd like to say thank you to the office of the lady. You brought me so many days of happiness, and God bless you for all that you do.
Was born and raised in the Bronx and has been a book collector since the age of 5. When he tried to go into the book collecting business as a college student, he says he found out quickly it was a good way to starve to death. His girlfriend at the time wouldn't marry him until he had a real job, so Dan went to college and had a long career in social work. Longer still was his 70-year marriage to that girlfriend, his first wife, Ann. Daniel is joined today by his second wife, Pearl, who he met while buying books. He says his aspiration since he was young was to be retired, and that one of his greatest pleasures in life is talking and going to book sales. Last November, Daniel turned